Walking with Jesus is not always easy. Just like hiking, the roads get tough and some people get tempted to give up. God gives people with different talents so they can use them to serve others. Our hikers were able to use their talents to encourage each other to keep on going. What talents has God blessed you with? How can you use your talents to help others keep walking with Jesus? But first, let's go worship.
People come together, strangers, neighbors, our blood is one. Children of generations, of every nation, of kingdom come. So don't let your heart be troubled. Hold your head up high, don't fear no evil. Fix your eyes on this one truth. God is madly in love with you. So take courage, hold on, be strong. Remember where our help comes from. I got a feeling it's gonna get rowdy. Swing by, oh you heavens, let the praise go up as the walls come down. Oh creation, everything with breath repeat the sound. All these children, clean hands, pure hearts, good grace, good God. His name is Jesus. All right, good turn. Swing
Oh, hey guys. Oh, and you caught up? I'm good, I'm good.
That's good.
How's your guys' walk going?
You're good. These rocks are slippery.
Yeah, they really are. It's hot out here. I'm thirsty, man.
Are you thirsty? I got
yeah.
you, dude. I got you.
Oh, thanks, dude.
Owen's just the man today. He's got you water, got my bottle in his
Jeez,
bag. And
what a lad.
Guess what else he did?
What?
He helped me figure out a song for my new memory verse.
Oh, that's awesome.
I know, right?
Can I hear it?
Yeah, you can. But let me first tell you where it comes from.
Okay.
So it's from John 8 verse 12, and it says, well, Jesus says, I am the light of the world. Whoever follows me will never walk in darkness, but will have the light of life.
Wow, that's such a cool verse, especially since we're like walking today. It fits so well.
So relatable, right?
Yeah.
But we made a song, so do you want to hear it?
Yeah, can I?
Yeah, but you got to follow on, okay?
Okay, wait,
Let's try.
let me put
So
my
it's
bottle
the first
down.
time. Yeah, put your bottle.
Yeah, I'll give it my best shot.
Okay. Hey. I am the light of the world.
I am the light of the world.
Whoever follows me
Whoever follows me
will never walk in darkness.
will never walk in darkness,
But will have the light of life.
but will have the light of life.
And it's from, can you guess?
The Bible?
Well, yes, it is from the Bible. But what book? It's actually from John 8, verse 12.
Okay, I'll remember it this time.
Okay, do you want to, should we try again?
Let's do it again.
Okay, cool. And, hey. I am the light of the world.
I am the light of the world.
Whoever follows me
Whoever follows me
will never walk in darkness,
will never walk in darkness,
but will have the light of life.
but will have the light of life.
Yes, good job.
Yeah,
So do you remember
that's
where it comes
sick.
from now?
John 8 verse 12.
Yes, that was awesome.
Yeah,
Well done.
that was
Colin.
sick. I love that.
I know it. I also love it. But do you think there's anyone else walking that we can teach it to? Like, do you see anyone else?
Yeah, I actually saw some people, a group of people that just walked down here.
Oh, cool.
So they're not too far ahead.
Should we go see if they want to hear more about Jesus? And
Definitely.
teach them our
Let's teach
memory
them the
verse?
song, yeah.
Okay, cool. Let's
Cool.
go. You got all
Let's
your
go.
stuff?
Yeah, I do.
I got my stuff. Okay, let's go.
Hi there. I'm so glad you're carrying on with this series called Walking with Jesus. And we've already learned a few important steps about walking with Jesus. And today I've got an exciting story to share with you. Do you remember what the first few steps are? Just like the disciples that walked with Jesus each day, we can take steps that will help us walk with Jesus. The first thing we can do is to read God's word. And we've been reading the book of Matthew, which was written by the disciple Matthew. And we can learn about what the disciples did with Jesus, where they went and what they did. And that's the first step that we can take in walking with Jesus. The second step we can take is that we can choose to follow Jesus. When we choose to follow Jesus, we become a disciple, a follower of Jesus, just like Matthew was, and Peter, James, and John, and some of the other disciples too. The third thing we can do is to do what Matthew did with his friends. He invited them to meet with Jesus, and we can do that too. Invite your friends to church so that they can find out about Jesus too. Step 4 is that we need to obey what Jesus said. We need to read what his word says, and then we need to do it. We don't just need to know about it. We need to obey and do what Jesus taught us. And today, I want to share with you one of the most fun things we can do. And Jesus loved telling stories, and I'm going to share with you one of his stories, and we can learn about what it means to use our talents. And when we use our talents, it's a whole lot of fun. And listening to stories is a whole lot of fun too. Jesus, I think, had a lot of fun with his disciples. When they used to walk with him, he used to tell them all sorts of different kinds of stories. Some of them were true, some of them were parables, which means that they're stories that will teach you about something. And some of them were a little bit strange. Today's story is something that we can also understand because it's about being responsible when somebody gives you something that you're going to take responsibility for. It's about making the most of what somebody has entrusted to you. And Jesus took this very seriously. And sometimes when he was teaching them difficult or serious things, he would tell them a story so that nobody could get upset, because he wasn't pointing fingers at anybody specifically, but everybody understood that he was saying that people needed to take responsibility. So the story that Jesus told is found in Matthew chapter 25. And so Jesus told them about a businessman. Now, we can understand that a businessman is maybe somebody who's got a shop, or maybe somebody who does stuff for somebody else. And this businessman called some of the people that worked for him, and he said to them, I'm going away on a long trip, and I want to give each of you something important that I want you to take good care of. Now, maybe you don't know much about business, but maybe you know about responsibility. Maybe you've been in the classroom and the teacher says, I'm going next door and I'm going to put some of you in charge. So you need to take responsibility to make sure that things carry on going the right way in the classroom. Or maybe you've had an adult that's asked you to take responsibility for maybe your younger brother or your sister or your cousin, and they've entrusted something that's valuable and precious to them, and they're trusting you to take good care of that, right? That's what this businessman did. He called in 3 of the people that were working for them, and he decided to give each of them a bag of silver. Now, silver was worth a lot of money in those days. And so each of them, he gave an amount in proportion to what he knew their abilities were. So the first person, he gave 5 bags of silver. The second person, he gave 2 bags of silver. And the third person, he only gave 1 bag of silver. Maybe he was quite new in the company and didn't know much about stuff. But what the businessman did is he gave each of them different amounts because he knew that they had different abilities. And he entrusted to them and he said, I'm going away on a trip. I want you to use this wisely. And then he left. Now, while he was away, the one who had been given 5 bags of silver immediately went to work. He went out into the marketplace and he traded, and he took what was 5 bags of silver and he gained a whole lot more. The second guy had been given 2 bags of silver, and he did the same thing. He used what had been entrusted to him and he made it grow. But the third guy, this guy I think he was a little bit lazy. He didn't know quite what to do with his 1 bag of silver. And so he went and he dug a hole in the ground and he buried it. I don't think that's what the businessman had in mind. After a time, the businessman returned and he called his 3 employees in and he said to them, what have you done with what I've entrusted to you? And the first man brought out the 5 bags of silver and 5 more. And he said, Master, you gave me 5 bags of silver. I have used them well, and I've been able to multiply them. I've made 5 more. Here you are. You've now got 10 bags of silver. The master's face lit up, and he said to him, well done, good and faithful servant. You've been faithful with little. I'm going to give you more responsibility. Let's celebrate together. And then he turned to the second man, and he said to him, what have you done with what I entrusted to you? And he said to him, you've given me 2 bags of silver. I've worked hard trading, and I have multiplied it to make another 2 bags of silver. Here you are. It's now double. It's 4 bags of silver. And the master's face lit up again, and he said to him, well done, good and faithful servant. You've been faithful with what I have entrusted to you, and now I'm going to give you even more. Come, let's celebrate together. And then he turned to the third servant and he said to him, what have you done with what I gave you? And that servant's eyes went down. His face was droopy. He had a frown. And he looked up at the master and he said to him, I was afraid. I was scared that I might lose the money that you gave me. And so I hid it in the ground. I haven't lost anything. Here it is. Here's your 1 bag of silver back, just like you gave me at the beginning. What do you think the master would say? I was quite shocked when I read what Jesus said, this businessman said. He turned to the third man and he said to him, you are wicked and lazy. You've done nothing with what I entrusted to you. I am really disappointed. The little bit that you were given, I'm going to take that away from you because you cannot be trusted with responsibility. Get away from me. I cannot trust you with the things that I wanted to entrust to you. Wow, what a contrast. Did you notice that the man who had 5 bags and the man that had 2 bags, the master was just as pleased with both? He didn't give either of them more or less praise. For both of them, he said, you've been good and faithful, and he was going to celebrate with them. But the one who did nothing, he was quite harsh with him because he expects us to be responsible with what is entrusted to us. And so we can learn a few things from this parable. Just like Jesus was telling about the businessman who gave different people bags of silver, God has given each one of us talents. Some people are good at singing. Some people are good at drawing. Some people are good at building things. Some people are great at encouraging others. Some are good at planning things. All of us have got different gifts and talents, and we need to be responsible with what God has given us. We need to use it and develop it. We need to use it to make a difference to other people. And as we find out about the gifts and talents that God has given us, we call it Discover Purpose at Church Alive. And so we want each person to discover their purpose, to discover their talents, and to develop it, to be responsible with what God has given to us. And I think it makes God very sad when He's given us a talent and we don't do anything with it. Because if you think about what the man said in the story, he said, you are wicked and lazy if you don't do anything with it. And so this is a parable that teaches us something. It's an interesting story to listen to, but it's also an important lesson that we can learn, that when we are entrusted with things, we need to develop them and we need to make sure that we use them to help other people. I hope you can go and read this story for yourself in Matthew 25 and remember the important thing that we can learn from this story. Use your talents. Use your talents to bless other people. Use your talents and make them grow. Get better and better at the things that you're good at. Don't worry too much about what other people have been given. Some people have been given more. Some people have been given less. Whatever God has given you, if you use it well, I believe that He's going to say to you and to me one day, well done, good and faithful servant. You've been faithful with what I've given you, and because of that, I can give you more responsibility. And that's what I'm hoping for each one of you. And now we're going to take some time to have a look at things that we can find out about ourselves. We're going to do a gift discovery questionnaire. We're going to have a look at some questions that can help you see what are the things and the talents that God has given you. And I'm hoping that you're going to use those and get better at them, and that you're going to use them to bless others, because we need to use our talents. Have fun doing the questionnaire, and we'll see you again next week when we find out some more about walking with Jesus.
Okay, kids, we are going to do a spiritual gift assessment. You can download this from the ChurchAlive resource page at www.churchalive.com/resources. Or you can use a piece of paper and listen to the questions online. Are you ready with your pencil and paper? Good. You will need to draw blocks with 12 rows down and 4 across. Each block matches with a question. For each question, give yourself a score. 3 means I always do this. 2 is for most of the time. 1 is for once in a while. And 0 means not at all or never. Let's practice to see if you know what to do. Practice question A. I brush my teeth every day. Practice question B. I pick my nose. Practice question C. I love Jesus. Now, listen to each question and write your answer in each block. Question 1. I like to make sure that things are neat and tidy for guests. Question 2. I enjoy explaining things about God so people can understand them. Question 3. I can be a good friend to someone even if they are grumpy. Question 4. I enjoy giving my pocket money to things which help other people in need. Question 5. My heart gets very sad for hurting people. Question 6. I can see what needs to be done. I plan ways to do it with others. Question 7. I enjoy doing creative things with wood, cloth, paints, metal, glass, or any other material. Question 8. I can remember songs and dances and I like to perform. Question 9. I have prayed for someone and they got healed. Question 10. I love to pray and to talk to God. Question 11. I find it easy to make friends with new people and invite them to church. Question 12. I know a lot about what the Bible says. Question 13. I enjoy doing small things to help others. Question 14. I am patient with the young kids and enjoy time with them. Question 15. I enjoy making people feel welcome. Question 16. I always give money to Jesus from my own pocket money. Question 17. I enjoy spending time helping and caring for others. Question 18. I am sometimes a bit bossy because I want people to work together. Question 19. I can see things in my mind before I build or create it. Question 20. I make up my own songs or dances. Question 21. I have asked God for something big and difficult, and God did a miracle. Question 22. I pray for other people every day, even people who are not my friends or family. Question 23. I can tell people about Jesus easily and in a way they understand. Question 24. I have good ideas that help people with difficult problems. Question 25. People say I am helpful. Question 26. I listen carefully to those who teach about God and I read it for myself in the Bible. Question 27. I can easily think of a Bible story or memory verse which can help a friend when they have a problem. Question 28. I buy gifts for other people with my own money. Question 29. I am concerned for beggars and street children and always want to help them. Question 30. Other people often copy me or follow me. Question 31. I am good at making things with my hands. Question 32. I am good at playing a musical instrument or developing artistic skills. Question 33. I trust that God can do impossible things. Question 34. When other people talk about problems or cry, I rather pray. Question 35. I often pray for people who do not know Jesus. Question 36. People ask for my advice a lot. Okay, now that we have filled in your scores for all the questions, you need to add them up to get a total score for each line. Which one scored the highest? Well, you can read up more about these spiritual gifts and use them to help others.